No, what in 2022 is still this direct contracting, the DC program. That's the one that, you know, they got enough heat on Congress and they, okay, we're not gonna do that. So that's ending, and in January 1st, 2023, the moment DC, it's just, so, you know, the same thing in a new format. Yeah, so, yeah, and that's a marvel. And the interesting thing is, nobody knows about this. Now, obviously, we're grateful that Alma Adams sees the light and understands and is taking her action. Obviously, if you live in Bishop's district, you know, I'm unlikely he's going to do much about this. But nonetheless, do what you can to implore your representatives to try to get this terminated. I'm sorry? Well, yeah, you and probably most people, who here had ever heard of this REACH thing before? Not members of our group, but who has ever heard of this before? Yeah, just a few. So that's why we're here. And we hope you'll sign the petition and get your organizations to sign the organizational petition. And the National Nurses Union, which is the country's largest nurses organization, is very much opposed and active on this. We do many things with them to oppose this. Yeah. Yeah. Locally, I don't know. Yeah. But if you go to like our website of this Protect Medicare thing, it'll give you all sorts of information about different groups that are doing things and how else you might be able to get involved. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions about Jessica's part?
We're taking questions about either of our talks. Any questions?
How did you make the chicken salad?
We're not taking questions about chicken salad. Or questions, comments, thoughts? Yes.
That's a comment. So Katie Porter from California actually was on video yesterday, and she did her whiteboard, and she did the whole thing about the private insurance having 17 more times their overhead versus Medicare. And so it seems to be like maybe top 9 on that. But I work for a multiple organization and I have never heard of it. So it's just.
Oh, right, it's under the radar. Could everybody hear what she said? That Katie Porter, who's a representative from California and who is a Medicare for All supporter and well known for her whiteboards, outlined it on a whiteboard yesterday that I think he said private insurance is 17 times the other.
Take out the dollars, and she showed the $1 for Medicare, and then she counted the $17 out. I mean, it was powerful. So we will video and share it.
But when you say about working for, I think you said work for a healthcare
organization,
right, and had never heard of REACH. I mean, REACH was designed to just be under the radar, and they just kind of slipped it in because they're not required to go through Congress, and I think they thought no one would notice. And then a number of organizations, PNHP has probably started the campaign, but we have other organizations like Public Citizen and Social Security Works and National Nurses United all working on this and have made a stir about it and gotten in the news about it. So we, as Dr. Bonfox said, we encourage you to do so as well and, you know, let your voice be heard about it.
This just in from our legislative chair, Megan. We have some postcards, which we invite you to take and mail to the Stop the ACO REACH program. So please put these on the table on your way out. And there's also self-address, what do you call them, address labels. The ones on top are to Representative Adams. I also see some down here to Representative Bishop and Burr, and I'm sure there's one to Tillis in here. So please pick some of these up on your way out after you've signed up to join our organization if you haven't already. And please get these in the mail. That'd be great.
Any other comments, questions? Yes, Dr. Barker. Susan.
I would just like to give a sense of urgency to this, because a lot of administrators, as you said, a lot of administrators don't know about this. So this is something that's happening. Once it happens, and we get rid of Medicare, which is the best way we have and the best thing that we have for health disparities. We need to move fast so that it doesn't get away from us. So I do want to just light that fire.
Thank you for that. Yes.
I just wanted to highlight, George had mentioned briefly about how REACH was just a cursory nod to equity, and we're all interested certainly in healthcare equity, certainly over the last 2 years. But it's just, I just want to amplify that a little bit, the shameful way in which they use this. Some of us have seen, what they did was leave it as just giving a little template to these ACO organizations to do whatever they wanted to do to address health equity. And I think at some meetings, one of the presenters said, my fifth grader's homework would look like this. It was just like, question 1, what would you do to improve health equity? This is a template from our government to these organizations to improve healthcare equity. So that's really another shameful piece of this, the way they're manipulating that concept, but just in a very cursory way.
Yeah, it's not a surprise that this came up in the last days of the Trump administration. The big surprise is the Biden administration hadn't done anything to stop it. And that baffled us. But like I said, the only explanation that anybody can come to is the power of campaign contributions, which is a shame. But that seems to be the reality. So we do what we can. Yes.
I actually came across as I was with the Senior Democrats presentation you did, but I found a list of all the DCE's, direct contracting entities, online, and I went through them, and there are about a dozen in North Carolina, but there are 2 you recognize here in Charlotte. And so know if you walk in those doors and you're on traditional Medicare, they're going to switch it. So it's Iora and Oak Street. So, because I wondered, they just kind of popped up, and I wonder why they're here. I'd never heard of them, and, Novant, Atrium kind of have the most of the healthcare here. But I also wanted to ask you if you'll talk about Medicare Advantage and why you should be on it.
To continue the discussion about managed care, well, Medicare Advantage is basically another attempt at managed care. If you look at the Medicare structure, there's Medicare Parts A and B, which is see your doctor, go in the hospital, traditional Medicare. Medicare Part D is a prescription drug plan we all know about. Medicare Part C is what allows Medicare Advantage programs to work. And it's a system by which for-profit entities can do exactly the same thing as this, but they have to do it straight up. You have to kind of sign up for Medicare Advantage. And so those that run it kind of said, "Oh, that's not working well enough for us. We're only gaining about 5% per year. We need a better way where we don't even tell people that they're coming into our managed care." So basically, the REACH program is kind of a stealth Medicare Advantage program. It's getting you into kind of where you're going to have limited networks and things like that. And this is also devious. I have a very good friend in Colorado who was telling me how happy he is he's on Medicare Advantage, and his wife gets to go to the Silver Sneakers gym program, and he gets this, he gets that, and all of his doctors are in network. I said, well, that's great until the day you come down with some illness that doctor's not in your program, and then you've had it. And so Medicare Advantage is a perfect example of great American capitalistic salesmanship, where they've sold people this kind of bill of goods, and this is great, as long as you don't need it, well, it's like any insurance, isn't it? But then when you do need it, well, you find out that you're limited, and if you say, well, I want to get back in the regular Medicare program, well, in all but 2 or 3 states, the regular Medicare program, traditional Medicare, will say, fine, but we have to kind of rate you. We have to check your coding thing, right? We have to see how bad your high blood pressure is. And instead of your premium being like everybody else's, it's going to be 3, 4, 5 times that. So, they have to medical underwriting, I guess the term. So, that in a nutshell is Medicare Advantage. It's just a for-profit way to kind of get into the Medicare population. Yes, sir.
Just like I remember from our conversation last week, Medicare Advantage will tell you that you have all these things covered, vision, dental, if you look at it, they'll cover $25 for a cleaning. How many of you will have your teeth cleaned for $25? So if you sign up for it, just as George said, to give up your traditional Medicare, you can get back on traditional Medicare in the first 3 years. So if you're 65, 67, or 66, 67, haven't reached your 68th birthday, you can go back to traditional Medicare. After that, you have to have a physical, and that's when we talk about the rating. And yes, you will be rated for all. At 65, you sign up for Medicare, you do not have a medical examination. They ask you to do one just to do a baseline. And it's free, but you don't have to do it. You still will go on to Medicare. But again, understand that once you're on Medicare Advantage, after 3 years, you cannot get off it. And that's the surreptitious piece about some of these organizations. They won't tell you you cannot reverse it.
This is a gentleman who had a career in the health insurance business, so he knows where I was fixed. Yes, Dr. Dave.
Could you comment on the percentage of people who are now in Medicare Advantage compared to traditional Medicare?
Yeah, just a few years ago, so Dr. Keeley was asking what's the percentage of people in traditional Medicare versus Medicare Advantage. And when we started doing these talks 3, 4, 5 years ago, it's like what, 25, 28, 30%? It's now pushing to 50. It's rapidly approaching 50%. And there's all sorts of things that happen when traditional Medicare becomes the minority population, because a lot of things about how much Medicare Advantage gets paid are based on traditional Medicare. So if you have the tail wagging the dog, well, things get really kind of messed around in ways we don't need to go into. Yeah, it's approximately 50%. Yes, Christian.
Dr. B, I admire Congressman Adams, she's done a great job, but we do have to face the reality that it did take some coaxing to get Congressman Adams to sign on to the second bill. And the reason I mention that, I appreciate Congressman Adams doing that, is because we have a new 14th district. And whoever gets elected to that district, we need to ensure that that person is in line with Congressman Adams. And the only way that person is going to be aligned is if we can get Congressman Adams to use her influence as that new person. But everyone else is going to have to show up to that. All elected officials who have supported this person in the past, it's going to have to say, the will of your district would like for you to support this, to sign on. Another thing I realized when I was driving up here, I realized how privileged I was to have health care. And all of us who are here without a mask, the only reason is because we know if we get sick, we got good coverage. There are people today, black and brown communities, that do not have the option to go to these things because they're afraid of getting sick. And so we have to face the reality that there is those of us who have quality health care have access. We have access to a lot more opportunities than those. So when you truly are for equality and justice, you want everyone to be able to come to events like this, and not just those of us who are privileged.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for those comments. I just wanted to say something about the comments about the changes in Medicare, the increases in Medicare Advantage. The goal actually is to get practically everybody on Medicare into one private scheme or another. But a point that I want to make is that this is a total distortion of what the initial intent of Medicare was. And for instance, the thing about requiring, people on Medicare Advantage and then requiring physicals to go back to traditional Medicare and so on. The initial intent of Medicare more than 50 years ago, when it was passed and implemented, was to cover seniors and to protect them and to give them health care and not to underwrite them or as we say, or rate them or any of those things, but and not also to give them extra charges that would make health care expensive for them now, which is also true of Medicare now. And the initial intent was better, and the people who passed the Medicare and Medicaid bills in 1964 had in mind that this would be the beginning, and then this would lead to coverage of our, entire population. And that got derailed along the way, but I just want to make the point that they knew what they were doing when they implemented it, and it was a better intent than the distortion and the privatization we see now. More thoughts, questions, comments? Thank you all. Thank you for being here.
Okay, we're not done yet. We're perfectly on schedule once again. I'm not sure how this is happening so well. Thank you, Jessica and George, for your excellent presentations, and thanks to all of you for your excellent comments and questions. Now it is my turn. I am your cheerleader. Now that you all have been woke and inspired, I need your help to make improved Medicare for all a reality. Everyone, close your eyes. I am serious. Really close your eyes. All right, you ready? I want you to imagine an America of wellness rather than sickness. Everyone, into that dream state? Are you ready? Gone are the insurance companies that are profiteering and by keeping us sick. Gone are the high copays and deductibles, so high we cannot even afford to get medical care. Gone are the denials of coverage, so frustrating to overcome, we do not even want to try. In this new world of improved Medicare for all, there is no excuse. When you are sick, everyone around you encourages you, shames you even. You are going to the doctor. What a remarkable shift. Our collective priority is wellness. Let's continue this dream. In this new world, there are more investments in the social determinants of health. If I keep my neighbor healthy, the national health bill is smaller. Therefore, more affordable and healthy homes, good jobs with good pay so people feel good and no longer self-medicate with drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes. The war on drugs, alcohol, and smoking is over. Physical exercise is encouraged with bike paths to ride and to walk to work and to school. Beautiful parks where there is hiking and sports every evening after work and weekends. Grocery stores are stocked with locally grown and real food because we know the connection between diet and good health. And of course, preventing global warming is a priority in order to prevent all the natural disasters and pollution that further damages our health and well-being. Okay, I could go on, but I know you have the picture. Now you can open your eyes to our current reality. Now is the time to take action and to realize that dream we've just shared. There is a Rensselaer Polytechnic study that concluded that if just 10% of the population holds an unshakable belief, their belief will always be adopted by the majority. So it is up to us to achieve that, and we can do that with your help. In Mecklenburg County, we need a little over 100,000 people to believe in Medicare for all. That's 10% of a million. We're over 1 million now. We can do this. If just one of us spoke to and convinced 2 people to believe in Medicare for all one day, and then each of those 2 people spoke to 2 more the following day, and the pattern continued, it would take only 17 days for us to reach over 100,000 people. Think about that, how powerful we are as individuals. First of all, and most important, if you are not a member of Healthcare Justice, please join. It is the best bargain in town. There's no dues. These are the sign-up sheets. They're on every table. Fill them out, hand them to me. We'll get you signed up. Or you can go to the website and you can sign up there. That's the Healthcare Justice North Carolina. Just Google it.
Then you become a member. There's no obligations. You'll receive a short newsletter each month. If you want to get more involved, and we'd love to have you do that, sign up for one of our committees. Communication, education, legislation, membership. Sign-up sheets are all up in front here, and I would love to have you all sign for one of those committees. Consider joining Physicians for a National Health Program, our mother organization. You've already learned that they're working on a national level, supporting state programs, and going to Capitol Hill to educate legislators about Medicare for All, and to protect, as you have learned tonight, what we already have, our current Medicare. And of course, HR 1976 is the Medicare for All Act that you've already heard about. And PNHP has been very influential in creating that act. How often have you heard the words, what you do every day matters? And it does for Medicare for All as well. Make it a goal to reach and to teach at least one person daily about Medicare for All. Wear your button. I got mine on. Everybody, wear your button. Buttons are out front, you can buy them. And your t-shirts. Here's the t-shirts, we got these up front too. Show and tell. Strangers will ask you about them, and I've gotten questions. And then there are bumper stickers. I don't have one with me, they're up in front too. And a bumper sticker will pique the curiosity of those in the car behind you. And a sign on your front lawn will keep your HOA annoyed, writing letters to you to remove it. Medicare for All will become as familiar and comfortable as apple pie, motherhood, mac and cheese. Having a meal with family and friends, nothing to talk about? Bring up Medicare for All. And you can share what you've learned today. That sign in your front yard, if you're lucky enough not to have that annoying HOA, will get neighbors to ask you questions when you meet them as you walk your dogs. Just happen to have in your pocket one of the quick facts. They're right in the center of your table. Just pull that out to impress your neighbor with your knowledge and enthusiasm for Medicare for All. Hand them a business card, HCJ business card, so they can refer to it later and go to our website and sign up. Those are on the center of your tables. The organizations and churches that you attend are perfect. We need your help to reach those groups and convince them that a Medicare for All presentation is exactly what their organization needs. Business groups, book clubs, hiking clubs. We will hike with you and chat about Medicare for All. I suggest all of you watch Fix It, Healthcare at the Tipping Point. It's a free, easy to find and access and watch online. It's a video with all the facts about Medicare for All. You can find it on YouTube or the Fix It website, and have a Watch Fix It party to stimulate conversation and entertain friends. That's even better than a Super Bowl or a Academy Awards party. And if you're on a work break, now that you're back at the office, just happen to mention Medicare for All. You're having a haircut, you're at the doctor's, it's a perfect time to mention and leave information about Medicare for All. Plan to march with us as soon as those marches begin again. Carry a Medicare for All banner in the July 4th, Pride, Labor Day Parade, one of them, all of them. And next winter, freeze with me as we march in the Martin Luther King Parade. It's always freezing on that date. It is fun, great exercise, and you get that thrill of being in the limelight, and of course frozen, even if it's just for 30 minutes. After we educate the public, we legislate that we learned. Call, email your representatives, city, county, state, federal. Show up at town halls and ask embarrassing questions like, why do 45,000 people die each year in America due to a lack of health insurance? If you are the shy type, you don't talk or march, then write instead. Write letters to the editor or an article for your church newsletter. Post on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Check with Joanne Seaberg if you need some help. Easiest action of all, donate to Healthcare Justice North Carolina. Envelopes are on your tables, cash or check. We love donations. Most important, vote and empower others to vote. More and more candidates are supporting Medicare for All. We can educate, support them, elect them, and make Medicare for All the law of the land. I hope to see all of you at the front of the room at the end of the meeting, asking questions, gathering information for family and friends and neighbors and coworkers, and signing up for committees. Now, everyone, grab one of those quick fact sheets that's on the center of your table, and remember, post them on your bathroom mirror, so that each time you brush your teeth, you are reminded to do something, anything, and everything to push us forward on this path towards our dream, our imagined, healthy, new world. We can make improved Medicare for All a reality, and we can transform our American culture from one of profit from sickness to one of wealth and wellness. Thanks to Jessica and George for their wonderful presentations and their leadership. Thanks to the board for assisting us in getting the word out about this meeting and bringing all of you here. Thanks to Caldwell Presbyterian for allowing us to use this beautiful hall and assisting us with setup and cleanup. And thanks to my helpers tonight, including helping with technology and logistics. Please mingle and linger a little in the front of the room to meet board members, some candidates that are here, buy posters, pins, yard signs, t-shirts, take information sheets, sign up to be members of committees. Thanks to all of you for taking time to be here. We can do this. Working together, educating, advocating, we can make this dream come true. Improved Medicare for All. Thank you all.